It's time to breathe again on this breath of fresh air, Shorty. I am your host, Charles, Charles Taylor, Chutty, whatever you want to call me. And before I start, I hope everybody had a great holiday season. Everybody was safe, and everybody got some time to rewind, kind of relax, and hopefully coming into this new year, 2021, it's a lot better, a lot more enjoyable than what 2020 was for a lot of us. So I hope everything is okay. Everything is going great out there for everybody. But I'm here on this shorty to talk about, well, there's so much we could talk about. There's a lot going on in the football world, both NFL and college. And uh, we should have a webcast later on tonight to detail that. Hopefully, I can get Patrick Brackett with me, and I'm pretty sure he will be. And I just have to talk to him to make sure. But what I want to talk about on this shorty is my favorite college football team, the Texas Longhorns. And they were in the news a lot this past weekend because they made a move that honestly was a little bit shocking to me. They fired the head coach Tom Herman and Steve Sarkisian, who was the or most recently the offensive coordinator at Alabama, and I think he will still be the offensive coordinator for the national championship game coming up against Ohio State on Monday. But he has been the offensive coordinator for Alabama, and before that, he was the head coach at Washington and in USC. He lost the job at USC because I guess he had problems with drinking, and he's been open and honest about those, or at least as far as I could see, he's been open and honest about those. And now he is the head coach at Texas, and he'll take over those duties after the national championship game, being the offensive coordinator with Alabama. Um, as for what Texas did, so they fired Tom Herman after 4 seasons. And this is shocking to me because, number one, as you guys know, I thought Tom Herman was going to get every single chance to succeed. When he first got signed in Texas, he had signed a 5 year deal replacing Charlie Strong. It was a 5 year deal. He had just gotten extended another 2 seasons. And now all of a sudden, he's out of here. To me, look, y'all know I was never a fan of Tom Herman, and a lot of the boosters and all the other people there in the capital, or the Texas's capital city of Austin, thought Tom Herman was the guy to bring Texas back to prominence. I never felt that way about him. I never understood why he got the job or why he got so much hype for having one hot year in Houston. And basically, I mean, he got the job basically because of the resume he had built being Urban Meyer's offensive coordinator in Ohio State, especially with that year that they won the national championship 2014, which was the first year of the college football playoff. But be as it may, Tom Herman got the job. He was there for 4 seasons. They had a season where they did get to the Big 12 championship game, but they lost to Oklahoma, of course. And the last couple of years, they've fallen short of those goals of bringing Texas back to prominence, which to me, that would be to compete at least for Big 12 championships, if not national championships. And they went to the Alamo Bowl for the last couple of seasons. That nothing against the Alamo Bowl. I mean, that's in my home city of San Antonio, but Texas should be going to better bowls than the Alamo Bowl. But he's let go, and Steve Sarkisian takes over. To me, it just speaks to the dysfunction that has been going on in that university. I don't know what exactly is going on there in terms of the optics. What is more important? Is winning more important? Is making money more important? I don't know what's going on, but I do know this. This is a football program that is, well, obviously, okay, look, it's in the state of Texas, as y'all know, of course. But I say that because Texas has unlimited resources, unlimited recruits, unlimited talent here to just do what needs to be done to be an elite program in college football. It has been far too long for Texas not to be amongst the top. They should be able to reload every year, not rebuild, reload. You are in the state of Texas where you have probably the biggest talent pool out of any state in America. Maybe Florida is the only state that can compete with that. California has some talent out there too. We know about some of the other states like Georgia, Louisiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania as well. But Texas is a pipeline. So the University of Texas should be able to reload and continue to have a team competing for national titles every season. It does not happen. As a matter of fact, it's a miracle nowadays if Texas makes it to the a New Year's Six game, like they did in 2018 when they went to the Sugar Bowl. But it has been far, far too long for Texas to be at this level. So maybe bringing Steve Sarkisian in, it's not a splashy hire, but it may be the right hire. Hopefully, he can go in there and say, you know what, let me coach this team, let me see what I can do, and tell the boosters to shut the F up. Basically, is how I feel about it, because I feel like the boosters just have way too much say so in there. I'm not there on the ground. That's just a feeling that I have. And hopefully, Steve Sarkisian gets the chance to do what he needs to do, recruit, and keep the talent within the borders. To me, that has to be the first order. Close the borders off. You keep as much of this homegrown talent in this state, coming to your school as much as possible, and you can't have these decommitments. Texas can get 5 star guys at any point, but a lot of them seem to decommit and go to other schools such as Ohio State, such as Alabama, such as Oklahoma, and just name a school. And a 5 star is probably leaving from Texas to go there. But in all, it just seems like there's a lot of dysfunction there in Austin. Hopefully, there's some order that can be brought to it. But as much as I'm not a Tom Herman fan, I feel like this was dirty, how this all went down. You sign them to an extension and then you let them go. Now, granted, Tom Herman, before this year, had fired his whole staff. So there wasn't much of a rope for him to have after he pretty much let go of most of his staff. Because that's saying, well, you made these moves, next to go would be you. And here we are in the Alamo Bowl again, and now he's gone. And again, I felt like he would get every chance to be successful since he was supposed to be the guy to bring Texas back to prominence, but apparently not. They had a look at, I guess the athletic director, Chris Del Conte, had a look at the program and they decided it was best to part ways. I don't know what was said, I don't know what was done, but it just seems like it's so much dysfunction at that university when it comes to the football program. Now they have to pay $15 million of dead money to Tom Herman. Well, okay, it's not dead money, it's actually going to Tom Herman pretty much. And then on top of that, you're gonna have to pay Steve Sarkisian and his staff. So it's just a mess. It's a hot mess, and hopefully it can get cleaned up here with Steve Sarkisian being in the spot. But I just know it's been far too long for Texas not to be in prominence. Hopefully they can start to get there, but in order to get there, they have some stuff to clean up. They have to start getting a little bit of patience, let these guys build their program. It hasn't been the same since Mac Brown was there. And it's time. It's time for things to get cleaned up Go ahead, clean house, do what you have to do, and let Sarkisian coach. And hopefully, finally, Texas can be back to prominence. Well, that's all I'm breathing on for today. Y'all make sure y'all go to the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and go to the Facebook page and keep them likes coming. So we should be back with a webcast later on tonight, and we hope to see you guys there. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope that everybody's doing okay. Take care.